is day 36. So motorbike maintenance didn't go as planned. We ended up we need to replace the rear tire. It was too worn out. Hopefully, by the time I get the servicing done, I'll be able to make it somewhat north. So I'm hoping to make it to the next YHA, which is in Lancelin. Welcome to day 36 of the trip. I'm in Lancelin right now, so I managed to get the bike back before like 2 o'clock, and so I was able to get to travel some distance towards Coral Bay, which I really need to make because I just booked in the accommodation. So if I'm there by Thursday, I'm losing like almost $500 going down the drain. I really don't want that, so I gotta book it to Coral Bay. Welcome to day 37 of the trip. I was actually meant to go to Billabong today, but I actually just went way past it and went all the way to, I forgot what it's called, but I'm about 150 kilometers further towards Coral Bay, so I'll definitely make it to Coral Bay tomorrow on time. Thank God, because I managed to find a booking for accommodation, and something I just learned today is about the existence of our school holidays, which is starting in 2 weeks. So basically, accommodation for Broome and any kind of popular place, tourist location after July is going to be like basically booked out apparently. Welcome to day 38 of the trip. I'm currently in Coral Bay. Arrived. We arrived pretty early today because yesterday we actually didn't stop at Billabong. We stopped at the other one. I keep forgetting what it's called, but it's like about 150 k's north. So we saved a lot of time getting here, and that meant made it to the beach when the sun was still up, and it was really nice. The Coral Bay beach is really good, and the boat cruise is going to be even better, hopefully. I forgot to buy motion sickness pills, so I might regret it. I might just keep my eyes on the horizon, just dead set. Don't look down. Don't do none of that. Yeah. So yeah, it's been good. So this is actually going to be the recap of day 39 because I haven't been doing any of my vlogs lately. I've just been kind of getting lazy. That being said, I did keep a note of everything I've done over the past. I haven't neglected the notes, so here we are. Anyway, day 39. So day 39 is the day I went to the whale shark dive at Coral Bay, which was freaking amazing. Didn't think I'd get so close to the whale sharks. There was a dive before and after. Sorry, not after, but just before. We didn't do the one after because we ran out of time. The one before was really good. Just all along the reef. It was fantastic. And yeah, just ended up spending the rest of the day. We ended up just getting some dinner at the fish and chip shop. Had a few beers. Yeah, it was really chill. Anyway, so on to day 40. So on day 40, I had to go to Exmouth, but because Exmouth is so close to Coral Bay, I figured I probably wouldn't be able to check in before midday anyway, so I actually ended up chilling at Coral Bay for quite some time. I left pretty late. I was considering going to the beach for a dip, but I ended up just hanging out at the hostel and talking with people. Which is alright, I suppose, yeah. So the people I was going to meet, the convoy that I met yesterday, they were actually going to Exmouth as well, albeit at different timings. So midday, go to Exmouth. It was really good. So the day I got there, I didn't actually do much. I just kind of, because it was kind of in the afternoon already, I just kind of explored the town. Not much going for it, quite frankly. The town beach, yeah, not much of a beach. I paid 19 bucks for a falafel wrap, which was kind of insane, but I don't know, I was kind of desperate for some good food. So day 41. So day 41, I spent most of it in Turquoise Bay, in the national park north of what's it called? It's a national park north of Exmouth. But anyway, you can just drive all the way around to the peninsula, and there's the Turquoise Bay is on like just the west end of where the town would be, roughly speaking. And it was amazing. It's actually better than the reef dive we did with the whale shark tour. We ended up staying there for quite a while, like 4 hours almost, I think. One of the people from the convoy actually arrived in Exmouth right as we were in Turquoise Bay, and then when we went back from Turquoise Bay back to Exmouth, she arrived, and then we said, okay, let's all go to the lighthouse and watch the sunset. The sunset was covered by clouds, and I mean, it was a good experience, but like, yeah, the clouds it was a shame, but nonetheless, it is what it is. So day 42, let me just double check what I did on day 42. Day 42 in the morning, I ended up having breakfast with just the roommates, the ones that I bumped into yesterday. There were some really cool people. We were just talking about some random stuff. I figured, so because my next destination that day I had to go to Chile Plains, and Chile Plains was only about 450 kilometers away. So I figured I'd rather spend more time in just chilling in Exmouth and just meeting people, rather than just going there and just bumming around the campsite, because Chile Plains is kind of like in the middle of nowhere. The drive itself was okay, so it's definitely starting to feel a bit more outbacky for sure, like less fuel stops, a lot of red dirt, spin effects, like more than the Nullarbor. Yeah, it was pretty barren. Starting to kind of like get a bit worried. So like luckily I have a jerry, I'm not too worried about like fuel and that, but that was like the beginning. Like, apparently it gets worse and worse as you progress towards the Northern Territory, which is not very good news, but we'll see how things go, I guess. Yeah, you know, like surely there should be one stop at least every 350 to 400 kilometers. Yeah, I mean on the main roads, right? You'd think. But anyway, Chile Plains, and not much going on. There was a campfire. There was a resident cow, which is pretty cool. Yeah, just typical campsite. Yeah, I'm starting to. So going to Chile Plains is actually a gravel road. Kind of starting to hit some like unpaved road, which is kind of a bit worrying, to be honest, because my bike is definitely not made for unsealed roads. So day 43 is when I went from Chile Plains to Karijini, just the Wino Gorge, so the west end, which is pretty good. Yeah, it was really nice. There was actually, so there's Wino, which is easy, and Hancock, which is super hard. Ended up just skipping Wino and went straight for Hancock, which is really this is good. Cut my leg doing it, but. And it was like 20 kilometers of unsealed road, which was really my first time doing so much unsealed road, and I'm never going to do it again. So the plan was to stop at Orski Tourist Village after that, but turns out Orski was turning away people because of COVID in Perth and Darwin. So I figured they suspected there'd be people running away from the lockdown, so they just refused accommodation in general, campsites and dorms and rooms, everything. They refused everything, which sucked. And I ended up having to go about 20 kilometers south to a resting site called it's called Albert Toglanini, and there I met an elderly couple, Paul and Mary, and I met this dude called Mitch, who was working for the indigenous communities back in up north. I don't know where exactly. I think he said the ones in the desert. I don't know if it was WA or NT. It was one of them. yeah, and it was really nice. We just ended up talking about a lot of stuff. Paul's super into photography, and yeah, just had a kind of like a nice DNN. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so that was it for day 43, and we're moving on. So day 44 is when I go from the Albert Toglanini to the east part of Karijini. So that's the Dales Gorge. Dales Gorge has there are two parts of the Dales Gorge. There's the gorge itself. There's a pool which was closed off that day, Fortescue Falls, and another pool behind Fortescue Falls. I forgot what it's called again. I keep forgetting what it's called. But so the Dales Gorge side is arguably it's kind of better, I guess, because like the water is more like it's like more akin to the photos you see of Karijini, like the true blue water and like the really nice looking pools. Like it's very easy to get to the pools, unlike the Hancock Gorge. Anyway, so yeah, ended up just going there, did like the whole thing, spent about a few hours there walking around. Then I decided to head off a bit early because I have to get to Broome the next day, and I figured I might as well get to Port Hedland, or just past Port Hedland. Problem is, so the only road that connects Orski Village to Port Hedland, which is the one I had to take, there was a fatal accident the night before. I couldn't get through it, and so what happened was that I ended up. So the problem was I couldn't get from Orski Village to Broome in one day. It was just too much. It was 830 kilometers or something. So what I did was that I just drove as much as I could north until I got to the last rest area before the crash site, and then I just stayed there for a while. I met this really cool bloke. His name's Jamie. He gave me some water, so I stupid and didn't bring in any water. So it's starting to get really hot in these places, and I'm just getting super dehydrated. I need to bring more water on these trips. So around 4:30 the blockade is removed and we all go through, but I still have about 800 kilometers to get to Broome. So I just beeline it towards Port Hedland, get as far as I can before it gets too dark, and I ended up stopping at a rest area in a place called Marble Bar. Middle of nowhere, but there's reception. Yeah, it was alright. It was a bit lonely, but I mean, I had my phone, I had reception, I had internet, I was able to it wasn't that bad. Actually pretty good, just no people, nothing, just me and the stars, and the occasional truck driving by really quickly. And yeah, that's it for day 44. Yeah, 4. So not much going on in day 45. So day 45 is the day I have to. Well, it's the 1st of June, which means I have to be in Broome. Yeah. So even though I travelled as much as I could yesterday towards Port Hedland, I still had about 740 kilometers left to Broome, and I've never done more than 650 before in one day before Broome. So that was pretty challenging, especially from Pardue to. So there's only one roadhouse from Pardue to Roebuck, which is like about 30 kilometers west of Broome. And that was altogether about 300 kilometers. I don't know, but it was like, kind of felt a bit like, oh crap, am I gonna have fuel? Well, I did, but it's kind of starting to get to a point where the fuel stops are starting to get more and more scarce. It's getting a bit, it's a little bit worrying, but I'm sure I'll be fine. So I arrived into Broome pretty late, around 4 o'clock. It's okay, but I did leave at 7, so I was driving for about 8 hours. Almost 9 hours, which is pretty damn long.